Hi, this is KB2MXV Frank, and I want to give you a little demo of what the problem is with the DCF export and import issue with using Contact Manager and the CPS software. So right here, I'm going to go model information. Everybody's radio is defaulting to mode 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new configuration, and we're going to put it on the US Amateur mode 7. I'll hit OK. Frequency data will be cleared. So right now, and we'll check it, model information, this code plug is on a mode 7. We're going to cancel that. Okay. So first thing is we got to make a zone. So we'll keep zone 1. We'll throw the 2 channels that are currently in the radio in there. And we also need to do radio ID, otherwise we'll get an error. So we'll make radio ID 1, radio 1. Okay, so here's a basic code plug, okay? Not much going on, but this is from scratch. Here I'm going to go I'm going to go to Tools, Export Data Conversion File. On my desktop, I have a folder called DCF Issues, and I'm going to name this file 7.dcf. Export OK. Now, here is the 7.dcf file. What I want to show you before I bring it into Contact Manager is I want to open up my hex edit file, and I want you to look at this 7.dcf file in the hex editor. So when I open it, I'm going to open the DCF file. Now you got a lot of numbers and stuff here. This is a hex format. I want you to take notice of the 5th column, 1st row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th column, 1st row, the first 2 numbers here. I'm going to just highlight them. And if you notice at the bottom, it says byte is equal to 7. That 7 is the DCF mode that we saved this DCF file in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that number 7 to number 13 and hit enter. And here now this DCF file will be in a mode 13. What I'm going to do here is go File, Save As, and we're going to call this one 13.dcf, and I'm going to hit save. So again, what we just did here was we created a 7.dcf right from the firmware, or right from the CPS. Then I opened that DCF file. I showed you where that number 7 lived. I changed that to number 13, and I made a second DCF file. So I have 2 DCF files, one with number 7, one with number 13 in it. Now what I want to do is open up Contact Manager. And what we're going to do is going to go open code plug, and let's go open number 7 first. Okay. So what we're going to do here is I want to make a change real quick. We're just going to add a new zone, and we're going to call this test. And in this new test zone, we're going to dump the 2 existing channels in. Okay, so that's the only thing I really want to change. Nothing else to change. And I'm just going to hit save. Save successful. All right, and now I'm going to go open that code plug 13 that I made with the mode 13, and I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add a zone. I'll call the zone KB2MXV, and I'll just save that, and I'll just dump 1 channel in, and I'm going to save that. So what we basically just did was we exported the 7 DCF from the CPS. I showed you in the CPS how 7 still hold the mode of 7 in it. I created a new DCF just by hex editing those numbers to make it 13.dcf. So we've seen those numbers living in the hex editor. We then edited both DCF files in Contact Manager because I wanted to change the thing up and resave it. What we're going to do now is open both these files again in the hex edit, and I want to show you that the mode number is retained at this point. So let's open the hex editor, and let's open the files we just edited in Contact Manager. So let's open number 7 first. And again, in the fifth row, if you look at it, I put the cursor right here, the first two characters, it's holding the mode 7. So Contact Manager is working fine. And if I open up the 13, again, the fifth row, the first two letters, it says OD, which is hex for 13. So after writing and editing the DCF file in Contact Manager, when we saved it in Contact Manager, it's still saving the mode data. So we know these two files are good to go. The problem exists when we bring them in to the CPS. So if I go File and Open, and I change the type to DCF, here are my two DCF program code plugs. I'll open up the first one, 7.dcf. It reads fine, it opens fine, there are two channels, but if I now go to Model and Model Info, it's back to mode 0. So during the input of that DCS, the CPS program made it mode 0, which is not the correct mode. And if you try to go here and change the mode, it's going to wipe all the data out. So there goes your code plug. And we'll do the same thing with the 13.dcf. We'll open that. It's going to load fine. And if I go to Model Information, again, you're seeing mode 0. So in summary, Contact Manager is working. The CPS is working on the export of the DCS. The DCF file, where it loses the mode information, is back on the import of the DCF file. Hope this helps. KB2MXV.